guys, it's Liliana the Magnificent, and welcome back to my baby city, Beauxbatons. In this video, I am going to cover the great buildings that you should not build in your city if you are a new player or an advanced player. But if you already do have them in your city, I also highly suggest that you consider removing them, even if you've already put forge points into them and levels and it's like a painful thing to do. Or also proceed with caution if you do want to keep it. It's fine. That's the kind of fun part of this game. You can really do whatever you want. But let's jump in. We're going to spend a lot of our time just in my inventory. All right, so number one, right off the bat, the Coliseum. This is an Iron Age great building, and you do not need to build it in your city. It is a pretty large building considering the square footage, but you don't need happiness from this thing. There are so many special event buildings that you can earn in the special events that Forge of Empires puts out that you don't need to focus on happiness from this. You can get happiness from them. Also, medals. Any great buildings that really give you medals as like the main kind of like frilly part of it is not attractive to me. So why? Because when you have an arc, you can take spots in a 1.9 thread and are guaranteed a spot, even like for instance, the 5th spot on my arc right now. Someone will earn 1,086 medals. And if you have an arc, it gives you an arc bonus of even more return on those medals when you take a spot on someone else. So if you're able to do 10 forge points a day on 2 or 3 even people's great buildings from a 1.9 thread, you earn so many more than 10 medals from a stinking great building. Oh my gosh. Okay, enough of that soapbox. I'm going to be soapboxing this entire time. I already know it. All right, let's see. Next, the Oracle of Delphi. This is a no-age great building. This is a great building when you are initially starting off. So Forge of Empires initially actually didn't have this great building released. This is maybe only, I want to say, 2 or 3 years old. Probably not even 3. Maybe it's only 2 years old. I don't know. But really they made it just for brand new players as a like little get your feet wet in the lake kind of thing and experience what a great building is. So this is really helpful when you're first starting off. It does give you supplies that you can use towards finishing quests within the quest line, and it does give you some basic happiness, which is helpful when you're starting off. But don't pour a lot of forge points into this building, and try to rip it down as quickly as possible once you start getting more special event buildings in your city. There's just no need for this thing. Okay, next. The Deal Castle. I say proceed with caution. This, like I said, is also a medals giving great building, which you don't need medals from it when you have an arc. It does give your defending army a defense and attack boost. So that is your army that protects your city from your neighborhood and from being plundered by your neighbors. Well, the hard thing about this is some players were saying they wanted to keep it up because of the new player versus player feature that Forge of Empires has been tweaking, but they haven't released it yet. And there are more buildings like watchtowers that are smaller square footage that you can put out in your city, even the Ritual Flame that you can get from Guild Expedition level 4, and now it's upgrade, that are better than this thing. And this is a huge square footage great building. Proceed with caution. Okay, next, the capital. The capital you do not need in your city. Go for an innovation tower. The innovation tower is a contemporary era. It gives you forge points along with a huge population boost. This one just gives you supplies. And being that it's only industrial age versus contemporary era, it gives you less population. It's really just not worth it. I used to have this in my city in my main world. I got it to I think about level 11, and then I tore it down once I put the innovation tower up. Um, the Robert, the Robert, the Royal Albert Hall. I just put the R and the A parts together. Ah, this building, I see a lot of players saying they tear down as they get higher age just because if you don't have supply productions buildings in your city, you don't need a supply production boost. However, I like it for the goods. I always like buildings that give me goods. I like having goods. I'm a hoarder, but with the focus more now on attack boosts for like guild expedition and guild battlegrounds, more players are tearing this down to put in buildings that increase their attack bonuses. So proceed with caution there. Next, the Lotus Temple. This gives you happiness and coins. You do not need a great building necessarily for coins if you have a St. Mark's Basilica in your city. That building increases your coin supply production. I'm creating new words for my little dictionary. Um, but when you have that, it just really increases the amount of coins that your city pumps out every single day. So there's no need to have a great building that solely focuses on giving you coins. And you've already heard my spiel about how special event buildings can give you so much happiness. You don't need one for that. The Notre Dame. Highly suggest you do not build this either. If you're going to have a great building that gives you supplies, go after the great building that I could never say, which is the Himagi Castle, or HC Castle. I'm just going to say it with confidence, like that's how it should be said. The Himagi Castle, build it. Once you have this in your city, you don't even need supply productions in your city anymore. So there's really no need to have a Notre Dame. It also gives you happiness. You've already heard my spiel on happiness. I'm not going to repeat it. Habitat. Habitat is like the capital, just larger. It gives you population and coins. You don't need it if you have an innovation tower. And if you also don't have supply productions in your city, you don't need that to build those. And if you have a CF and you do a lot of recurring quests, then you also don't need goods buildings in your city. So you really don't need population. Just saying, don't need that. Okay, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on the Virgo project. Very few Space Age Mars and SAB, which is the Space Age Asteroid Belt players, have this in their city. I either want to say the percent never changes or this multiplying factor never changes. And I think it's the multiplying factor. So no matter how many levels you do on this thing, that the once not once the within a little words within a 24-hour period you can only use this 3 times, but even with that like chance factor playing in, it might not work. So why have a building that gives you coins and only a very small chance 3 times a day to hit something within an attack situation with the military? No. Players don't build it. If they're not building it, there's a reason why. So don't waste your time on it. I'm just saying. Okay, Gia Statue. You've already heard the spiel about the medals and the happiness. It's not needed. I'm not going to beat it into you, hopefully. Not. Okay, so the seed vault is weird. I'm not really even super sure about it. It does give you a chance of something fun and special when you aid. However, hardly any players have this thing. So I think that speaks for it. Even in my main B world, I do not even have a full 9 prints of this thing to build it in my city, and I have been playing for almost 4 years. That just tells you that very few players have it, so there's obviously not a huge good factor to build it. Which you might not even be able to build it because you probably won't even get blueprints. So I guess that kind of spells out itself, but people don't have it. Space Age Needle, you don't need it. I'm already going to say it has to do with the coin factor and it has to do with the happiness factor. You don't need them in your city. There are special event buildings better than that it will do. And that is all of the buildings. Look at you just pumped through those. Hopefully this video was helpful, you guys. If it was, give it a like. You can always subscribe to my channel. And if you click the little bell next to the subscribe button, you'll be notified whenever I put out new buildings. OMG, I'm literally just hopping in to say I did it again. Ever since that time I said if you subscribe to my channel then you'll be notified whenever I put out new buildings, it literally just is always on the tip of my stinking tongue and it just wants to slip out and it just did it right now. And I don't know why it wants to do it. I think it's so funny when it does and I love that my subscribers were like, Lil, we totally want to be notified whenever you put out a new building, but it's not. If you subscribe to my channel, you get notified with new videos when you press the bell. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a new problem for me. I already know it. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.